Nelson Mandela was born on the 18th of July, 1918. His birthplace was Mvezo, a small village nestled in the Eastern Cape of South Africa. He was given the name Rolihlahla, a Xhosa name meaning troublemaker. His father, Gadla Henry Mfukanyiswa, was a chief of the Tembu people. Mandela himself was descended from a long line of tribal leaders. Despite his noble lineage, Mandela's early life was marked by simplicity. He grew up in the rural village of Kunu, where he herded cattle and learned about his people's traditions. His education began at a local mission school where he was given the name Nelson by a teacher. This seemingly insignificant event foreshadowed the Western influence that would shape his future. Mandela's sharp intellect and thirst for knowledge were evident from a young age. He excelled in his studies and went on to attend a prestigious boarding school, Clarkbury Boarding Institute. Here, Mandela's horizons broadened as he encountered students from different backgrounds and began to develop his own worldview. This experience sowed the seeds of his future commitment to equality and justice for all. At the age of 19, Mandela enrolled at the University of Fort Hare, the only institution of higher learning for black Africans in South Africa at the time. This university was a beacon of hope and a rare opportunity for many young black South Africans who aspired to higher education and a better future. He pursued a Bachelor of Arts degree, immersing himself in politics, law, and indigenous African culture. Mandela's time at Fort Hare was not just about academic learning, it was a period of profound personal growth and political awakening. It was during this period that Mandela's political consciousness truly blossomed. He became actively involved in student politics, joining the Student Representative Council and advocating for the rights of his fellow students. He became increasingly aware of the injustices and inequalities faced by black South Africans under the apartheid regime. The stark realities of racial segregation and discrimination were impossible to ignore. The more he learned about the systematic segregation and oppression that permeated every aspect of society, the more determined he became to fight for equality. Mandela's exposure to political literature and discussions with fellow students further fueled his resolve. Mandela joined the African National Congress, or ANC, in 1944, a pivotal moment that would define his life's path. The ANC was the leading organization fighting for the rights of black South Africans, and Mandela's involvement marked the beginning of his lifelong commitment to the struggle for freedom. The ANC, founded in 1912, aimed to unite the African people and end racial discrimination. It was an organization with a rich history of resistance and a vision for a democratic and inclusive South Africa. Mandela, along with other young activists like Oliver Tambo and Walter Sisulu, established the ANC Youth League, injecting new energy and militancy into the organization. The Youth League sought to transform the ANC into a more radical and mass-based movement. The Youth League advocated for more confrontational tactics against the apartheid government, marking a departure from the ANC's previous stance of peaceful protest. They believed that only through direct action and mass mobilization could they achieve their goals. Mandela's charisma, sharp intellect, and unwavering commitment to justice quickly propelled him through the ranks of the ANC. He became a prominent leader known for his ability to inspire and mobilize people. He became a key figure in organizing campaigns of civil disobedience, such as the 1952 Defiance Campaign, which challenged unjust laws and mobilized thousands of South Africans. This campaign was a turning point, demonstrating the power of collective action. As the apartheid government responded with increasing brutality, Mandela's belief in the necessity of armed struggle grew stronger. He realized that peaceful protests alone would not be enough to dismantle the oppressive system. Mandela's journey from a young student at Fort Hare to a leading figure in the ANC was marked by his unwavering dedication to justice and equality. His early experiences and the harsh realities of apartheid shaped his resolve to fight for a free and democratic South Africa. The Sharpeville Massacre of 1960, in which police opened fire on peaceful protesters, killing 69 people, proved to be a turning point. This tragic event shocked the world and highlighted the brutal nature of the apartheid regime. the international community began to take notice, and the pressure on South Africa to change its policies started to mount. The massacre also galvanized the internal resistance movements, leading to a significant shift in their strategies and approaches. The ANC, including Mandela, concluded that non-violent resistance was no longer sufficient. The peaceful protests and civil disobedience campaigns had not brought about the desired change. Instead, they were met with increasing violence and repression from the state. The leadership of the ANC realized that a new approach was necessary to combat the oppressive regime effectively. In 1961, Mandela co-founded and became the first commander of Umkhonto we Sizwe, the armed wing of the ANC. This marked a significant departure from the ANC's previous strategies. Umkhonto we Sizwe, meaning Spear of the Nation, was established to carry out acts of sabotage against government installations. The aim was to weaken the apartheid regime's infrastructure while avoiding civilian casualties. Umkhonto we Sizwe carried out acts of sabotage against government installations, aiming to cripple the apartheid regime's infrastructure without harming civilians. These operations included bombings of power plants, telephone lines, and other key facilities. The goal was to disrupt the normal functioning of the state and demonstrate that the resistance was capable of striking at the heart of the apartheid system. Mandela, now a wanted man, went underground, adopting disguises and using aliases to evade capture. He moved from place to place, often staying in safe houses provided by supporters. Despite the constant threat of arrest, Mandela continued to coordinate the activities of Umkhonto we Sizwe and maintain contact with the ANC leadership. He travelled abroad seeking support for the ANC's cause and receiving military training. Mandela visited several African countries, as well as Europe, to garner international backing for the anti-apartheid struggle. He met with political leaders, activists, and supporters who were sympathetic to the cause. The training he received abroad was intended to enhance his ability to lead the armed resistance. However, in 1964, Mandela and several other prominent ANC leaders were arrested at Lily's Leaf Farm in Rivonia. This was a major blow to the anti-apartheid movement. The farm had been used as a secret headquarters for planning and coordinating resistance activities. The arrest of Mandela and his comrades was a significant setback, but it also set the stage for a pivotal moment in the struggle. They were charged with sabotage, treason, and other crimes against the state. The charges were serious and carried the possibility of the death penalty. The apartheid regime aimed to use the trial to crush the resistance and intimidate its leaders. However, the accused turned the trial into an opportunity to expose the injustices of apartheid to the world. The Rivonia trial, as it became known, was a watershed moment in South African history. The trial attracted international attention and brought the plight of the South African people to the forefront of global consciousness. The defendants used the platform to highlight the brutal realities of apartheid and to call for justice and equality. The world watched as Mandela and his co-accused stood trial in a courtroom fraught with tension. The proceedings were closely followed by the media, and the trial became a symbol of the broader struggle against oppression. Mandela's calm and resolute demeanor during the trial earned him widespread respect and admiration. Mandela used the trial as a platform to eloquently articulate the ANC's struggle and denounce the injustices of apartheid. His powerful words resonated with people around the world and inspired many to join the fight against apartheid. Mandela's speech was a masterful blend of defiance and hope, laying out the moral and political case for the anti-apartheid movement. His now famous speech from the dock became a rallying cry for the anti-apartheid movement worldwide. The speech, in which he declared his willingness to die for the cause of freedom, galvanized international support and intensified the pressure on the apartheid regime. Mandela's words continued to inspire generations of activists and remain a testament to his enduring legacy. Despite a powerful defense and global condemnation of the trial's legitimacy, Mandela and his comrades were found guilty. The Rivonia trial, as it came to be known, was a pivotal moment in South African history. It was not just a trial of individuals, but a trial of the entire anti-apartheid movement. The courtroom was filled with tension, and the world watched closely, hoping for a different outcome. However, the apartheid regime was determined to silence these voices of dissent. They were sentenced to life imprisonment, a verdict that sent shockwaves throughout South Africa and the international community. The news spread like wildfire. igniting both despair and a renewed sense of urgency among activists. International leaders and organizations condemned the harsh sentences, and protests erupted in various parts of the world. The sentence was meant to be a deterrent, but it only strengthened the resolve of those fighting for freedom. Mandela's long walk to freedom seemed destined to be confined within the walls of a prison cell. As he was led away, the weight of the moment was palpable. The clanging of the cell door echoed the finality of his sentence, yet it also marked the beginning of a new chapter in his struggle. The prison walls could contain his body, but not his spirit or his ideals. Mandela's imprisonment, spanning 27 years, became a symbol of the brutality of the apartheid regime and the unwavering spirit of those who opposed it. His incarceration highlighted the lengths to which the regime would go to maintain its grip on power. Yet it also showcased the resilience and determination of those who believed in equality and justice. Mandela's name became synonymous with the struggle, and his plight drew global attention to the injustices of apartheid. He spent the first 18 years of his sentence on Robben Island, a notorious prison off the coast of Cape Town. The island, isolated and desolate, was chosen to break the spirits of its inmates. Surrounded by the cold Atlantic Ocean, it was a place of both physical and psychological torment. The harsh winds and the relentless waves served as constant reminders of their isolation. Here he endured harsh conditions, forced labor in a lime quarry, and the psychological strain of isolation. The lime quarry, with its blinding white dust, was a place of immense suffering. Prisoners toiled under the scorching sun, their bodies pushed to the brink. The work was backbreaking and the conditions were inhumane. Yet, amidst this adversity, Mandela found ways to maintain his dignity and hope. Life on Robben Island was designed to break the spirits of political prisoners. The regime believed that by isolating and subjecting them to harsh conditions, they could crush their will to fight. The daily routines were monotonous and the constant surveillance was oppressive. Every aspect of their lives was controlled, from the food they ate to the letters they received. Yet the prisoners found ways to resist, to hold on to their humanity. They were subjected to hard labor, inadequate food, and minimal contact with the outside world. The food was often insufficient and of poor quality, designed to weaken them physically. Contact with family and friends was severely restricted, adding to their sense of isolation. Letters were censored and visits were rare. Yet even in these dire circumstances, the prisoners found ways to communicate, to share news and maintain a sense of community. Mandela, prisoner number 46664, was no exception. This number, 46664, became a symbol of his struggle and resilience. It was a stark reminder of his status as a prisoner, yet it also became a rallying cry for those who supported his cause. The number was emblazoned on his prison uniform, a constant reminder of his captivity, but also of his enduring spirit. Yet he refused to be defined by his circumstances. Instead of succumbing to despair, Mandela chose to use his time productively. He saw education as a tool for empowerment, both for himself and his fellow inmates. He believed that knowledge was a powerful weapon against oppression, and he dedicated himself to learning and teaching. He used his time in prison to educate himself, earning a law degree from the University of London through a correspondence program. This achievement was not just a personal triumph, but a testament to his unwavering determination. Despite the challenges, he persevered, turning his cell into a place of learning. His dedication to education inspired others, both inside and outside the prison walls. He also encouraged his fellow prisoners to pursue education and maintain hope, fostering a sense of camaraderie and purpose even within the confines of their cells. Mandela's leadership extended beyond the political. He became a mentor and a source of inspiration. He organized study groups, shared books, and motivated others to continue their education. This sense of community and shared purpose helped them endure the hardships of prison life. Mandela's resilience, dignity, and unwavering belief in the justice of his cause transformed him into a potent symbol of resistance, inspiring people both within South Africa and around the world. His story is a testament to the power of the human spirit, the importance of standing up for what is right, and the enduring impact of one man's courage and conviction. Mandela's legacy continues to inspire generations, reminding us that even in the darkest of times, hope and justice can prevail.